Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it's time for my 100% honest update review. I got a lot of thoughts about this update and the current state of Brawl Stars. I say that like it's a bad thing. Well, maybe it is, but also maybe it's not. We'll start the video with Lola, we'll end it with me rating the update from 1 to 10, and as always, I'm gonna be 100% honest. But before that, I really wanted to give you guys a huge thank you. My channel recently hit 800,000 subscribers, and I just can't tell you guys how much I appreciate all of your support and all of your kind words. I would not be able to create the kind of content that I do without your guys' support, so thank you for being amazing and for all that you do. Also, there's something I wanted to bring to your attention that's actually really important. Mr. Beast recently reached out to me about the Team Seas initiative. His goal is to clear 30 million pounds of trash out of the beaches, rivers, and seas throughout this world, and he's teamed up with some amazing organizations to make it very easy for you to help. All you need to do is click on the link below and check out teamseas.org. Every $1 that you donate will go towards 1 pound of trash being taken out of our waters. If every person watching this video were to donate just $1, that could be up to 200, maybe even 300,000 pounds of trash taken out of the ocean. And that's why if you donate at least $1 to Team Seas, I want you to leave a comment in the section below with hashtag Team Seas. And I'm going to take the time to read and respond to every comment with that hashtag in it for the first 24 hours of this video going live. Thanks so much for your guys' help and support. And thanks to Mr. Beast for creating such an awesome opportunity so that we can have a very easy way to positively impact our planet. Now let's talk about Lola. I really love Lola, okay? She's a really unique brawler and her mechanic with her super is unlike anything that I've ever played in Brawl Stars, but also I don't think I've ever played a brawler like this in any other game, except now that I think about it, I actually just recently played Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and it just so happens that in that game they have like a cherry ability that actually allows you to duplicate yourself. That's literally the first time I've ever played anything like this, which is kind of funny that it happened so recently. Now, I don't expect that all the chromatic brawlers actually are like have really unique mechanics like this. However, she absolutely deserves it, and honestly, I think that she could even be considered a legendary if Supercell really wanted her to be, but you know, obviously Chromatic's nicer because more people are going to unlock her sooner. Now, since her super actually allows you to control 2 different brawlers at the same time, she's going to be a really great main for some players that are really good at multitasking, and she's going to have a crazy high skill cap. I could see some players doing insane things with her, okay? She has the potential to control 2 lanes at the same time, heal herself, heal her teammates, deal damage against enemies, all with the same shot, which is, it's insane, okay? She's kind of tricky to use, but an easy way to use her is just to throw her mirror right on top of herself so that you can deal damage, you can heal yourself with every single ammo, and even though she's a really high skill cap brawler, I fully expect that she's gonna get a nerf soon after she's released. Like, straight on, I even told Supercell that. I'm like, Supercell, this brawler's insane. You can release her as she is, and I'm going to play her a lot on the first day, and then you can nerf her after that. Now, one thing about her that is really weird is that I'm pretty sure she is the first brawler that was not designed by Paul. Up until this point, we have had one developer that has created all of the concepts for all of the brawlers in Brawl Stars. That's been Paul, and I don't know who the new game designer is, but I knew that whoever it would be, they would have big shoes to fill. And honestly, if you're watching, you did a great job. Lola's really cool. Now, one thing that's really interesting, I actually didn't notice this until after I recorded my Olympics video for Lola, but it says in her description, despite being just a guide, Lola portrays herself as the leading lady of Brawlywood. Okay, so I don't even think she's actually an actress. I think she's just like a guide, a tour guide for people who want to go check out Brawlywood. Now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do for her unboxing challenge. I've got some ideas, but I want to know what you guys think I should do because I've not sold on my idea yet. Now let's talk about the new skins. Supercell is really stepping up their game when it comes to skins, okay? I thought that almost every single one of these skins was going to be 149 gems, honestly. And I looked at that and I was like, now they're going to release at least some 79 gem skins. Like, they've got to, right? And I was right, but honestly, these are high quality skins. They are very different from their original skins. They have unique animations, each and every one of them. Plus, they have different projectiles as well, different things for their super. They crushed it. They really did. And I think they're setting a high bar for the future of all Brawl Stars skins. Now, if I had to pick my least favorite, it would probably be Chola. And I don't think it's even a bad skin. I just think it doesn't really seem as special as some of the other tier 70 Brawl Pass skins. Then again, I literally had to look up the definition of Chola, so maybe I'm just uncultured, which actually would kind of explain a lot. I think the best value skin is absolutely Ghost Squeak. I was shocked when I saw that they priced it at 49 gems because it just looks so good. I thought it was going to be 149 gems. Like, Seriously, it's a cool skin. But as for my favorite skin this update, it's kind of a toss-up between Cat Burglar Jesse and Headless Rider Stu. Headless Rider Stu was such a good idea, and the amount of detail on it was just so good. I love the fiery flames. It's a really cool skin. But then we have Jesse, who's one of my favorite brawlers, and I've always loved Jesse's skins, and this skin has a really great design. Plus, it's actually a part of Brawl Stars lore, which is especially unique. Now, I think it's actually really cool that Brawl Stars is actually going to allow players to get this skin for free by watching the World Championship. I think that's really great. I am a little concerned that, like, you know, there's a lot of people throughout the world that are going to have to stay up incredibly late throughout the night just to get this skin, and that's unfortunate. So I wish it, well, I don't know exactly how the point system is going to work. Hopefully people will be able to unlock this skin without having to watch it live, and there's going to be some way for them to watch it later, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. Now, speaking of Jessie, she got a remodel, and remodels create controversy within the Brawl Stars community. We get used to brawlers looking one way, and then Supercell changes them and they look a different way. And it makes sense. They created the original models like a long time ago, and they need to update them to make sure that they're on par with the game currently. But when they updated Pam, people threw a fit because she lost her tattoo, and they were outraged even more when Mortis lost his hat. Now, with that said, I do like the Jessie remodel. I especially think that Scrappy looks really good. It's really clean. I do miss the old Jessie, but at least she gets to keep her hat, right? I'm also looking forward to see how they're going to update her other skins, since they'll actually have to remake all of the skins that were made on the old model so that it's now on the new model. Now let's talk about the new event modifier, Peekaboo. Like the game I played with my newborns. This is a fun modifier, okay? And it's actually the first modifier that has been specifically made for Brawloween. Graveyard Shift was added to the game during Brawloween a few years ago, but it's actually exactly like Life Leech was, which Life Leech was actually a modifier that was put into the game way back when they first added modifiers into the game. Supercell found that it was kind of complex and confusing for new players, so they ended up actually getting rid of it. So it was actually really cool to see Supercell coming up with new ideas for a holiday-based game instead of actually just bringing Life Leech or Graveyard Shift back to the game, which is kind of what we were probably expecting. And this modifier is fun because it completely changes the meta, because every brawler pretty much gets a Leon super for every 7 seconds, right? And if you haven't played it already, you should absolutely expect a lot of close range brawlers, since they're the ones that benefit from this most. And all of the chaos that happens in this game mode is super fun when everybody becomes visible and you like find out that there was somebody 2 tiles away from you. It's hilarious. It's so much fun. Now, at the time of me recording this, I've actually only played just Gem Grab, even though I know that there was a different game mode yesterday and the day today, but I haven't played that yet because that's in the future for me right now. But it is really fun, and I'm really excited to try out the different game modes, and I could actually see this being like a really fun with Knockout, right? Now, I don't think that this is going to be a permanent game mode, but I could absolutely see Supercell making this a permanent event modifier for the map maker, because I would like to play this and do different mini games and stuff like that. You could really play like some really interesting mini games just by using a modifier like this on custom maps. Now let's talk about Brawlywood. Okay, I gotta be honest, the idea for Brawlywood is so genius, and the music is so good, and it fits so well with the Brawl Stars lore, and honestly, I'm shocked that I did not see this coming, or at least make some sort of prediction, or like that I didn't think about this. Disney World literally has a whole theme park dedicated to Hollywood studios, and the investor video for Star Park includes a small segment talking about the media that they produce, including TV shows and movies. Obviously, they're going to need some sort of a studio for them to be able to film those types of things. So like, why did I not think about that? This is making me feel like I have to go watch the investor video all over again for look for even more clues and hints, right? There are actually a ton of really cool brawler concepts that I could see them making. I could see them doing some sort of a set designer who builds walls or bushes or like other stuff on the map. Maybe a light tech brawler who blinds enemies with a super, or maybe even a costume designer who actually dresses up like other brawlers so that they can mimic their supers or their attacks or different abilities and stuff like that. They could add a director brawler, a makeup artist brawler, a boom mic brawler. There's so much they could do with this, and I'm really excited to see what they end up doing with it, because we know that Stu is not a part of the Brawlywood trio, and he's got his own thing going on. So we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to quickly talk about balance changes. I really like the balance changes for Ash. He's going to feel a little bit more like what I feel like he should feel like. He shouldn't get more rage from taking damage than him dealing damage, but I don't know. We'll see. but I like those change. I think that it's fantastic that Frank got some buffs, although I still don't think he's gonna be very competitive. I think that the Griff star power buff is gonna change almost nothing. I'm probably still not going to use that star power. I think Meg is going to feel a lot better. She started off way too strong, then they nerfed her and she felt way too weak, and I think her getting 1 ammo when her mecha dies just makes a lot of sense. I think that Jackie will be significantly better, although I don't think she'll be overpowered, but I do think she will be actually somewhat competitive. And I think that Mortis's creepy harvest star power is still going to be the go-to star power, even though it got a 400 healing reduction. Also, I fully expected Leon's lollipop drop gadget to get a nerf. I think that we were all expecting that, and it just makes so much sense. And honestly, it probably should have been like that from the start. But probably the most important balance change this update is the nerf that they gave to Brock. He's definitely easier to dodge in open areas where you have lots of room to move around, but his projectiles still explode with a huge radius. And that means that when you have maps that aren't so open, it's still pretty easy for him to hit his shots, and he does really well with controlling maps because of it. I'm still going to need some more time to see how strong he really is, but I do think that he's not going to be the powerhouse that he was before the update. Maybe he'll be balanced, but the weird thing about Brock is that they've buffed him and nerfed him so many times. He's all over the place. They nerf him and he's terrible. They give him a buff and he's amazing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. One other thing I want to talk about is how much I love Supercell's decision to change the Power League skin from matches 1 to rounds 1. This will, I love this because this will actually give an incentive to players to play their games even if they lose the first round, because hey, there's still a chance that you can actually win a match or win a round even if you know you're gonna lose the match, right? And you'll also get progress if you lose the match but you do win at least 1 of the 3 rounds. It makes a lot of sense, and I really like where Supercell landed. I think that the Power League skin feels good finally. Okay, I'm still gonna rate this update from 1 to 10, but first I wanted to talk about kind of like the state of Brawl Stars right now. Now, I talked about this in my last 100% honest update review. Interest across the whole gaming industry declines after summer ends and school starts to pick back up, because people go back to school and, jobs where people aren't working during the summer, they end up going back to those jobs and stuff like that. Like, interest just decreases. That's expected. I knew that this was going to happen, but I think that that's especially true right now because people are going back to school for the first time since COVID. Not everybody, but some people are. Now, all this decreased interest in gaming is actually really especially unfortunate for Supercell games because Supercell takes a 1-month break during summer, which means that their post-summer updates are usually really small, or sometimes for other games, not Brawl Stars, but for other games, sometimes non-existent for a long time. And that's exactly what happened this year, which is why the post-summer update kind of made me feel a little sad, which is exactly what I talked about in that video. Now, whenever interest in games decreases, particularly Brawl Stars, I start to see those effects on my channel, right? Viewership starts to go down. It's hard to maintain people's interest and come up with ideas that are gonna really grab people and make them wanna watch, and it is especially difficult to get a video to trend. Now, I knew this would happen in August's update, but I was looking forward to the next really big update sometime, and my hope was that we would be getting something like that in October. Well, then Supercell released another update in September with an awesome legendary brawler, and that left me actually feeling a little bit better about August's small update. But Supercell let us know that they weren't done making changes to clubs. They were gonna postpone that even more. And so then a month later happened, they announced, hey guys, it's still gonna take another month. And then this update happened. Now, this update is what I would consider to be a 1-month update. It's like half of an update because for a while we've been having big updates every 2 months. We got a chromatic brawler and a brawl pass, plus tons of, really high quality skins. Don't get me wrong about the skins, but not everybody buys all the skins. And other than the new brawler, the only real new content was an event modifier, and it wasn't even a new game mode. It was it's a great modifier, and I love it. I think it's really fun, but we didn't get a whole bunch of new content or what I would consider to actually be game changing or keep people's interest on Brawl Stars. What we got was high quality, but we didn't get anything new. And new content is what maintains people's interest. And that's why I'm going to give this update a 7 out of 10, which that is actually a really good score for a 1-month update because I'm comparing it to a lot of other 2-month updates. Maybe it would be an 8.5, maybe a 9 if I compared it only to 1-month updates. Now, with all that said, despite us having small 1-month updates in August, September, and October, the fact that there's not a bunch of new content means that the general interest in Brawl Stars is starting to go down a little bit. It's not a lot, but it's happening, and I don't expect that will change unless we get something actually new. Now, we know that something new is coming, okay? They've been telling us, hey, we're gonna do it next month. Okay, now it's the next month, okay? Soon. Okay, now it's officially happening in November, right? And if it doesn't, well, I don't know what happens, but it's supposed to happen in November. And that is exactly why I'm so looking forward to the November update, because Brawl Stars has really hyped it up, and they've also publicly postponed club changes for such a really long time, and that makes me think that it's going to be a big change. I don't know. Part of me is worried that the November update is overhyped and we won't actually get very much game-changing stuff. Maybe they'll just be like, okay guys, we're gonna expand everybody's friend lists, so hope you made friends. Maybe they'll just be like, okay guys, we decreased the size of clubs and that allows us to give you club icons. And we've been working on that for a while now, so hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm joking, and I don't think that's what's happening here, but I've seen game companies do stuff like this. Plus, I've already talked about how I've tried to come up with ideas on how to make a fun club wars that people would play for a long time and find enjoyable for a long time, where scheduling conflicts between all the clubmates wouldn't actually be an issue. Now, Supercell has honestly exceeded my expectations like most time in the past, and they've obviously, they've got way more gaming design experience than I have, right? I've played a lot of games. I know what kind of games I like to play, but I've never designed a game. And I do speculate on like potential game ideas that I think would be fun, like not Power League, but you guys remember Power Play? Power Play was pretty much word for word a concept that I came up with, and maybe Supercell copied, maybe they didn't, but we came up with the same idea. And Power Play was fun. It was awesome for a month. And it turns out that my idea was kind of boring after a month. I'm worried about whatever these club changes are going to be, and I hope that they're fun for longer than a month. Either way, guys, Brawl Stars has done an amazing job at developing the game, and I am still playing it, and I'm still enjoying it. Like, I mean, honestly, it's one of the best games of my entire life, and I expect I'm going to be playing it for several years. It's a great game. And those are my 100% honest thoughts about this update. As always, I want to know if you guys agree with me, and I want to know if you disagree with me. And if you do disagree with me, please tell me why, and feel free to mention anything that I might have left out. Once again, I will be responding either with like a heart or a reply or some sort of interaction with everybody who puts hashtag Team C's in the comment section below, because I'm expecting that anybody that does that will have donated at least $1. Thanks again for your support, and thank you for helping me get to 800,000 subscribers. If you're not already subscribed, I'd appreciate you guys clicking that button that's right here. I should probably like do it right here so you can actually see. And also, there are more videos that you can watch right here. For now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.